comfy. Right then, welcome to Confessions of a Repo Man. On to the disclaimer. For all you buttercups out there who like to complain about stuff, this show's not for you, so I'll give you time to switch off. Right then, for all you misfits who are still here, buckle up, you're in for a ride. Right then, where do I start? I've had a lot of starts in life. Started off in the Navy at 16, but it's when I left the Navy, about 22. Didn't know what to do. Got to open the yellow pages. I was that naive, I just thought I could pick any job I wanted. And I did. Private detective, that'd do me. So I was a private detective, joined an agency, promised me the world, started off serving warrants on people, civil cases through solicitors. Solicitors which were taking other people to court, which needed warrant serving on people, would use private detectives, process serving. So then, I started off as a process server, really naive. I remember one of the first cases I went on, knocked on this woman's door, and she came to the door crying, oh, he doesn't live here, oh my God, he's left me in so much debt, I've got kids, I need to feed my family. Oh, I believed it. Went back to the private detective agency, said, no, bloke doesn't live here, I can't serve a warrant. Yeah, he does, the solicitors say he does. So then fine, absolutely fine. So I went back again. Woman, oh no, he doesn't live here, he's moved up to Liverpool, doesn't live here, oh my God, I don't know what to do. The kids went back again to the private detective agency. No, he does live there. So I thought, oh, fuck this. So I went back at 5 o'clock in the morning, sat there waiting for him in my car. Lo and behold, this bloke walked out his door at 5 o'clock in the morning and went to the newsagents. I'm like, I bet that's him. So say his name's Dave Smith. I'm in jeans, t-shirt, repossession warrant in back pocket. Went up to him. And how I used to serve warrants was, I didn't go, oh, I'm the process server acting on behalf of the courts. I used to go, Dave. And he'd go, huh? I go, it's Michael. Dave. And he'd go, huh? I go, Michael. Dave Smith, innit? Dave Smith. And he'd go, yeah. And I'd go, right, I'm a process server acting on behalf of the courts you've been served. Oh, you just go fucking mad, try and punch you. Everything. But that's how I started. Then I set up my own company because the company I was working for wasn't treating me right. So I was working for solicitors and I was a process server serving warrants. One day I get called in to this solicitor's office. Nice big building, walked up big oak staircases. It was a proper old-fashioned office. You walked in, library books all on the wall, big fat solicitor sat there, whoa, looked like he fucking overcharges. He sat there like this, all right, Sean, I've got a job for you. I'm like, what is it? And he says, I've got a woman who's a client. She's got a toy boy. This toy boy's got a van and a speedboat. She bought it for him. She's got the receipts, but he's got everything in his name. Whoever's drive that this van and speedboat's on is theirs. Didn't know where the speedboat was. He said, to start off with, Sean, let's see if we can get the van back. Here's a spare key. This is the address. So I went there, wasn't there. Went back again, wasn't there. About 3 or 4 times, went back, I can't find the van. They went, oh, he might be at his other house. I thought, well, he could have told me that. So I took a bloke with me called Andy Merchant. Andy Merchant was black belt in judo, hard as nails. So I took Andy with me to this new place. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. Thought we hit it at 2 o'clock. Never done a repossession. So we got there at 2 o'clock in the morning and the van's out on the drive. So we're like, oh, quid's in. So I said to Andy, let's not bother knocking the doors. All we had to do was get this van off this drive onto this woman's drive, or to this compound where she wanted it. So I said to Andy, what we'll do is I'll get in and I'll take the steering lock off. You just push the van back onto the road as I'm sat in it. I'll turn it onto the road. We'll push it 1/4 mile up the road, start it, we're gone. Yeah, brilliant. Sounded excellent. So I get up, get in the car, undo the door, put the key in the steering lock, go to take the steering lock off. Andy's got his hands on the bonnet like this, ready to push, his big geezer. I flicked the ignition on. So I took the steering lock, but the ignition's come on. Now this bloke's had pulled up with his stereo on full blast. So as soon as I clicked the ignition, it was like the bat out of hell in the morning, and the fucking music's blaring. I'm like fucking trying to punch the fucking stereo, trying to get the stereo off, trying to get the key on. And all I remember was looking up, and Andy's just like this on the bonnet. And then like we both turn around. I'm looking up like that at the window. Andy's like this. Seeing if his boat, no lights come on. So then we just pushed it off the drive, pushed it up the road, and we just went, we're gone. Then that went smoothly. Then about a day later, this French Foreign Legion bloke turned up at our offices. He wanted all his scuba gear in the back. I don't even know what happened to it. Wanted all his scuba gear up. We ended up having a bit of a scuffle with him, a bit of a fight on the staircase, and he just fucked off. Then the solicitor called us back and says, we've located the speedboat. It's in Milton Keynes. So he went down to Milton Keynes, done a drive-in, speedboat's there. We're like, oh, that's good. So then we went back, got the van, got everything, thought, well, we'll go and hit this during the day. So we turned up, Andy Merchant, I think my brother, I think I might even have my dad with me at that time, because he was doing the private detective work more than me, because I was so young, I couldn't have the face of a company. So it was basically all in my dad's name, but I was doing all the donkey work. So we pulled up, bloke come running out. He knew what we was about because the other French Foreign Legion bloke had told him. He'd come out with a hammer, went to hit Andy Merchant over the head. Andy Merchant just kicked his legs up, took the hammer off him, put him on the floor very gently and give him his hammer back and says, don't try it again. Bloke didn't know what to do. We hooked the speedboat up, took it up the motorway. We was unprepared. We didn't even have board lights on the back cars. The car we'd come in was right behind us all the way up the motorway because we had no indicators or anything, unprepared, everything. Got it back, the solicitor was over the moon. It was like, oh, this is brilliant. Thank you so much. You got a knack for this. I said, a knack for what? He goes, these kind of repossessions. And I'm like going, well, what do you mean, what kind of repossessions? He says, well, repossessing cars and stuff. I said, well, I don't understand what it means. And he said, repossessions, car repossessions. I went, how? People just buy a car? And he goes, no, Sean, I have it on finance. And I was that young, I just didn't understand. And he turned around and he says, no, things are bought on finance, and if people don't pay it off, finance companies have it back. I was like, oh. Yeah, anyway, so the solicitor, big fat bloke sat behind his desk, oh, you're good at this, Sean. Oh. He wrote down some names of some finance companies, and that was it. That was my first repo, but it wasn't my first repo. That was my first taste of getting cars back. It was unofficial, wasn't on finance. It was whoever's drive the car was on had it. And in this case, the woman got the car back.